We are the men in society, yeah. We are the men in society, yeah.
Talk about depression, talk about recession, talk about the church and them confession, talk about the government lacking discretion. Then you wonder why there's so much aggression. We talk about relationship, talk about divorce, we talk about the news, we talk about the sports, we talk about the soldiers and police force, and issues that affect the men of course.
Tessa, Morgan, Andre with Alex and Morgan. Yay! We are the men in society, yeah.
Alright, welcome to another episode of Men in Society. I'll be a moderator, JJA. Today's topic we'll be talking about balancing our professional life alongside personal life. Our sponsors, Matic Rum,
Yep. Big up.
Yeah.
our support, and also Mining Gold Studio for hosting the podcast. We'll be having a special guest today, which everybody is well known in the musical industry. Sir Gramps Morgan.
Bap.
Y'all know him from the group.
Yeah.
Big
Morgan
Vice.
Heritage.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Big Vice.
But he's also doing his solo career, which is doing well.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
I think he's about to release his album pretty soon. And yeah, we're there. We're all there.
Good day. Yeah.
We're all there though. So
Yeah, but the whole thing of balancing, boy, balancing not easy.
Yep.
It's not easy at all, cause I think no matter what, one going to get more attention than the other. That's my personal
Yes, yes.
experience.
I agree too. And the funniest thing about it, is that when you give preference to one more than the other, somebody else feel it too. You understand?
Yes.
Especially if it's a situation where, for argument's sake, you give more focus to the professional life so as to better the personal life. You understand? Not many people may understand that sacrifice. You understand? Because when you make that sacrifice, it affects those who are around you who are benefiting from it, whether directly or indirectly.
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
is
that's what I'm
it
saying.
sacrifice meaning sacrificing for you or for the family?
Comes down to perspective. It does come down to perspective.
It is a sacrifice.
It is a sacrifice,
And no matter what, as Alex said, if you focus more on the professional life, the personal and the family life, because you don't have that family time all the time. You're going to miss out on graduations, you're going to miss out on, birthdays,
Soccer games. all
You're going to
the
miss out on
things.
some
Yeah.
things. So it is a sacrifice. So
Yeah.
you're sacrificing family time to better the professional life or the professional career, and at the same time you're doing it so you can better the family life.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a catch-22.
Yeah. The funniest thing too, I remember, I think it's in economics where they talk about opportunity cost, where focusing more on one thing inadvertently affects the other,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, if for argument's sake you to focus on the personal life, the professional life potentially can be affected. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's like, and as I said before, it really is really and truly a juggling act. You understand? And
9 times out of 10, I find that
something has to suffer.
yes, something
Something
is going
has
to
to
suffer, and for some people, suffering is relative.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Like
Yeah,
for that,
actually,
yeah.
when the man I do it and figure said, "Man, I do it for the
The breadwinner of the whole.
the betterment of the family."
Right.
Ultimately, then the amount of work that you put in based on the job that you're doing, one side never see it as, do you have to?
Yeah, and the funniest thing is that the man sometimes will probably hope that, listen, I am doing all of this sacrifice. You're hoping that those around you can see the merit in why I'm doing this. You may not be there. You say, boy, all right, I'm not there, but here what? Una have proper schooling. Una have food on the table. All these things that are there are because I am making this sacrifice for Uno.
But what about if you're making the sacrifice and the returns are not there.
That's
You're not
it.
see so we
the
are
only-
sacrifice for because the money not come in. So you do all this work and the money not add up to the amount of work we do. So you know
That's what
how you
it's-
get the person to understand that okay, it's not just overnight.
Monetary,
We're
yeah.
doing it for
Legacy building.
yeah,
Yeah.
for further down the
True,
line.
true.
But we can use an example like how, we're going to be talking to Gramps Morgan. We're talking about the music aspect for me. A lot of times, that's why a lot of artists tends to talk to people who are in the music industry
True.
because of
Sometime.
overstanding. Knowing that person can
They
overstand.
can relate.
Can
relate.
relate.
And point of even bigger than that, why a lot of artists or a lot of whatever successful professionals in whatever field they are by themselves.
Yeah.
You understand? Well, they get
Is more by themselves for real, you know, because
Yeah.
listen,
because
even in that situation, once one person start doing all that is required to get to the next level. So I am on the road to bust down. We just create a new
A new word.
Bust down.
Bust down.
Bust down. So if you create a new word, that we could have wrapped that in our curse word,
No. Bust.
continue.
Yeah, but
We'll
they-
No pay no mind. No pay no mind. Bust.
Now, if my other half is in the same profession,
Right.
but she's not on that road yet, then there are certain things she might say, you have to go studio tonight, you have to do this, you have to do that. You really
Jealousy?
have to do it. You get to, yeah, but because
That happens.
yeah. Now, if the flip happens, are the same thing will happen. Because you have a figure say,
Because you're no longer
Entertain-
you're no longer our villain.
No.
You're gonna be
Fun.
Shelly's boyfriend or
But-
Shelly's
Yeah.
gentleman.
But you see the point I'm coming at though, because I've been in situation where music is 24/7, never ending, and you can be sleeping and 12 o'clock you get a call and say, yo fam, father the studio, and then you get up and you
Bro.
put on your clothes and everything,
Bro.
and the woman will say, yo, where you go?
where you going 11 o'clock?
Where you go
in the
12
night,
o'clock in
brother?
the I can't studio I go.
I remember, let's say she's a musician too, but why?
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 Why couldn't you do the normal hours a day? But
Yeah,
you see,
why?
creativity is a hell of a thing, because it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a creative idea or a brilliant idea at 5 p.m.
Thank you.
Sometimes get it at 3 a.m.
Thank you.
You understand? People just have to understand that. You see, the worst thing, even when, for example, talk from personal experience, when you're up on tour, you see, tour is a whole different beast in itself. But sometimes, even for us as TOK, doing like 24, 25 shows in like 20 days.
Yeah.
You understand? I have situations where, and out of those 20 days, 2 days are travel days. So that means that you have shows, you have 2 shows on the same day. You're going from one country to the other country.
Facts.
You understand? And each show is about an hour and a half, 2 hours that you perform after you come off this. So you go on to the next video because you don't have time
Yeah.
to even say relax at the hotel. You just boom, bed change, leave your clothes there, and go up on stage. You have interviews, you have dub, all them things
All
there.
those
I've been on
things.
stage sometimes, I have jump.
Yes, I catch
You
it.
feel man, no, you feel the nerves and I have jump.
Yeah.
It rough man.
But may I ask Alex this now? Andre, see, as musicians, an idea busts in your head 3 o'clock in the morning. See, you better half laying beside you, and you jump up and say, so them just call me at the studio. My virgin just call me and say, him have a rhythm and him want to come voice something and read. See, you are run out here say, 3 o'clock in the morning, you really have to do this. She not the same business as you. You really have to do this. And you say you have to understand. This is how it works. This is how you should have known better. You get to me and say, all right, cool. Flip side now.
Yeah.
House phone ring.
Yeah.
3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You pick up the house phone and you hear Gramps Morgan advice for the next one. I say, hello, could I speak to Sharon? So Sharon now you're going to take the phone and say, no? Okay. Gramps are calling down at the studio 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
For voice. Oh, you feel?
And we have Mr. Gramps Morgan with us.
Speak of the devil that he doth have.
Sir Morgan.
Bless, hello?
Yes, man.
Blessed.
Blessed.
What go on, General? Big up yourself in the Grams. What go on? You're mute.
You might muted.
The mic is muted.
Yes, man, God is great.
Yes,
man.
man.
All the
Blessings.
time,
Good for
all
having
the
you here,
time,
sir.
all the time.
Big up boss. What go on?
Why would they are now? On the dog. Glad to see the brother them.
Yeah, man, same here. So we're talking about balancing professional life and personal life, and your name just came up. Cause a man I say if him wife in the music field and 3 o'clock in the morning, a call come in and when him answer the phone, his Gramps on the line and say, "Can I talk to Sharon? Can I read her in the studio?" You know, that type of thing. But how is it for you in terms of balancing that professional artist life and your
Family,
personal family life?
It's not easy, you know. It's not. It hasn't been easy for many years, you know. As you know, most of my brethren them can attest to it. That while you're on tour, I mean, I remember the days of when there was cell phone was a commodity, you
Yes.
know.
Yeah.
It was you have a cell phone tour from them time. The cell phone wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
When you could get cell phone for $3,000 Jamaican dollars.
Yeah.
I remember those days, and me there in Europe, and me have to use a phone card when you used to go to the phone booth. Them, and there was no cell phones. They weren't calling cards. Them things never exist.
Yeah.
And it was very hard to make the whole tour bus stop. Just lay down on your bunk and make a phone call on your cell phone, you know?
right.
A phone call goes a long way. So I've seen it progress that it go from a phone card or you have to stop at the truck stop and make a phone call to put things in order. The kids at home are misbehave, who now listen to their mother.
Yeah.
And it's hard, it's a hard process. But today, where we are now, even in this pandemic, it's
Zoom.
much easier because now we can get to carry my son go eat an ice cream.
Yeah.
And if you don't mind shop, my older kids probably could have bad mind. Because I said, boy, daddy never carry we go eat ice cream. You know?
Yeah.
I want them stay pure within them soul and them spirit, but because there's a pandemic now, I'm home. I'm sitting home.
Yeah.
And we don't have the chance to really we're not locked into touring, we're not in the studio as much. I'm still in the studio, but
Not as much.
It's not mandatory.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So having a partner who understands or who is in a similar field, do you think that helps?
Oh, definitely. Big time.
Yeah.
Because you see, when you not have a woman and she outside of the music industry,
She never gets
she
it.
feel like, I want to tell you, I good thing me got through enough woman because
Listen, I'll get to that.
Just that.
yeah, because you find out, say, a lot of them are the same thing, and a lot of them complain about the same thing, which is your time, which nothing wrong with that, no. But a lot of them look at our industry like you're doing what you love, you're having a time and you're doing but then I understand, say it's hard work.
It is.
It's hard work.
Hard work.
Yeah.
And that is the biggest problem that I would say when you don't have a partner that's in the industry, that they look at the music industry as a game or play or sport.
Yeah.
Right.
Is it still very challenging even having a partner who understands the business? Is it very still challenging sometimes?
No, it's much easier because not only that she's in she's not in the music industry, but she understands business and understand going to a meeting or taking a phone call or going to a conference or flying out. She understands business. But when you have a woman that sit at home, that you become them job, you're not trouble.
Yeah.
So that it's good to have a woman that has a job, because if she not have a job, you will become her job.
Yeah,
But
because at the end of the day, there don't be much focus on you then per se, because have her own priorities that she to focus as well as you. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, brother.
Yeah, man. We know it, man.
But that in itself can be challenging as well, because if a tone have this heavy schedule and this
No
busy
time for
schedule,
each other.
we
No
not
time
time
for
for each
each
other.
other.
So how you balance that part then?
Oh, for me, family comes first.
Okay.
Family comes first, and it's always a challenge where you always have to check yourself as a man, and because the man is the head of the household, such as Christ is the head of the church.
Yeah.
So it is his duty to make sure his house is what?
In order.
In order, it's out of order, and therefore problems will arise. So it's very important for that partner in your life that continue to always reflect and say everything all right at the house. Is when you begin to neglect those things and get caught up in your work too much, that's when the problems start.
Isn't there a time? May I get to it? Is there a time though when you are actually working to get the house in order And that could be one of the moments that is seen as neglect or not doing enough. Is there a time in you developing the empire, building enough so the family can be safe, that the women go through a moment of saying, when will you have time for us?
Right, absolutely. Every man I go through that, you know. And that there comes when balance. Sometimes you have to say, yo, family meeting, you know.
Oh, okay, yes.
Let me tell you something. With my father, me having 30 brothers and sisters, family meeting
30?
was
I mean, 30?
30?
As a 30?
3-0, man.
That's not a family, that's a small village.
That's a village.
It's a village.
Oh,
It's a village.
And
Whoa.
2 basketball team.
Two basketball, yeah.
Damn. Yo.
Wow.
But I find very interesting is that sometimes you may believe in yourself that you are doing your best to balance everything and your best to make sure that the family is fulfilled and the family needs are being met, and you realize that you get a lot of resistance from your partner because they may deem that what you're doing is still not enough. How you overcome something like that?
Man, it is a thing where it comes down to understanding, my brother. Because if a woman doesn't stay, especially a woman that is not in your work field, and it continue to be a problem, you and that woman not gonna last. It's not going to work.
It will never work. But look at
And you
this.
have to make a decision. Man, as I want to tell you this, and I'll share this with all of the men, all of the men around the world that watch the show, and they're men in society.
Yes.
Listen to me. Every man wants to be a king, but does not want to pay the price of kingship. So we have to understand that there's a price that comes with being king.
True. Yo, profound.
We
That's
want-
profound.
we want to repeat
That is
that.
profound.
Yeah,
Every man wants to be a king,
But
but don't want to pay the price of
kingship.
kingship.
Yeah,
Everything
I love that.
But
Yes,
isn't there a
brother.
problem when, as an artist, you know what I mean, Gramps Morgan, you're an artist, but also you're a family, you're a king at home. How does that work
Yes.
when sometimes it's like the roles switch? Like, do at times it come across like you're Gramps Morgan, the artist in home, alongside
No.
with...
Very good question. You have to understand. All right, it's like me born in America, right?
Yeah.
And a man said to me, say, so on the chat pot was so good like when you raise out a country. And me tell him, say, if you take a Jamaican and put him on Venus, him still is a Jamaican now.
Quite
So
true.
the thing what that made me understand and learn my language and culture, raised up in that between Brooklyn and Springfield, Massachusetts, is that what my parents instilled in me. So at school and outside, I'd be like, yo, what's up, man? Yo,
Yeah.
yo, over what's going play some ball, yo. But you saw me reach at the front door there, you drop that at the door and wipe off your foot at the mat and
Okay.
understand you're coming at Jamaica house.
Yeah.
So as a father now, understand, me leave Gramps Morgan at the door. Of course, there are going to be certain hints and the DNA of Gramps is still there because
Right,
that's
yeah.
who I am. But as a father and as a husband and as a all of that it's all about balance, my brother. And it becomes a point where a man have to look within himself, because if you're a woman now shine, remember say the reflection come from the sun and the man represent the sun. So
Facts,
sometimes
facts.
you can find out say the same woman where you love her from the beginning, she just start look ugly to you. And you ask, wait,
So
am I girl this?
So I have a question for you, Gramps.
What-
I have a question for you. So, all right, if it comes to a point where the personal clashes with the professional, and you reach a point where everything is
choose.
just not saying necessarily that is one aspect. Having to choose is one, but when you become so frustrated that she not understand what I'm going to say now. Me I try explain, me I try work to make her answer, and make her believe that listen, this is not just for me, this is for us.
Yeah.
How you deal with that versus backside, say that this part of the professional thing now really work out the way I want to work out, and the two worlds come clashing in and you feel like say it's overwhelming. How you sift through all that and find your way through? How you deal with that? Like when both worlds collide and becomes frustrating where you feel like you can't deal with it. How
You
you
have to
deal with
choose.
that? How you
You
how
have
you
to-
choose or how you
you
deal
have
with
to-
it?
You have to talk about it. You have to sit down and have a sober conversation. And then you also have to know the kind of partner you have. Because you have some woman where very loud and very boisterous.
Yeah.
And
then you have some
demanding.
man with You have some man who are well ignorant and can't express themselves.
Yeah.
So comes a point where you have to sit down and know what you have. You can't they don't have dumpling and call it rice and peas. You have to know what the DNA is.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm careful. I'll say the same thing to all of the men in society fans. That when my father tell me say is that you have to be careful when you choose a woman.
Yeah.
Two things. First of all, you have wife and you have concubine.
Wow.
And you have woman you can't turn concubine in a wife. So you really have to know what you're doing and how you're choosing a woman in your life. That therefore exactly what you just said. Is it a woman who can sit down and talk to and grow with her?
Yeah.
And lift her by understanding and lead her to show me or if she ever lead me in that field because it's that the two are not have a balance, it's a balance.
Yeah.
But if it reach a point where you can't sit down and reason, the relationship can't work. I can tell you that.
So Gramps, as a man, it is important for introspection. It is also important for knowing yourself because if you ever look at the laws of attraction, it's really who you are that you attract to, you know. So the minute you're able to go through yourself and understand what you want in a life, then you will attract a partner to you that will basically understand what you're going. Not true?
Yes, man. You say it right. Because you can't start look for a woman and you don't even know yourself yet. Because
Yes,
the
sir.
first form of a government is man and woman enough. And if that government not depend on the same level as president and vice president, you're going to bring in the secretary of state, which is your first child. You're bringing that child into confusion,
Wow.
Yeah.
which is two people who don't understand themselves.
Powerful.
Yes, brother.
Mad.
Powerful.
Yes, man.
Powerful.
Yeah, man, profound.
But like
profound.
what that.
Yeah.
Secretary of State.
Secretary of
We don't love it.
Yeah.
Powerful.
President, Vice President,
Secretary of State.
Yeah, that bad,
It's true.
that
I love that.
Makes
bad.
sense, it makes
But
sense.
I mean, a lot of people, and we're glad we have somebody of your caliber who tours extensively to explain this because I have had that issue where I think my wife is just no understanding what needs to be done and why I'm doing what I'm doing. So the times that I'm away and all of that, she start understand. So you're right. It take you having to sometimes just sit down and say, here what, this is the case.
Yeah.
This is what I do, and this are my plan.
Yeah.
You understand? Are you with us? You know what I mean?
Alright, so
Yes, man.
question for you. What was the hardest time away from your family? Describe what it was like and how you're able to deal with that. What was the hardest time? Like, was it in terms of, for example, the duration of time away from in terms of like maybe a month? Because we know the tour thing.
Or a 3 month
You understand?
tour.
Or a 3-month tour.
3 months or
Sometime.
more.
You understand?
Same,
What
it's
was the
birth,
hard-
it's graduation,
everything.
everything.
What was the
Soccer
hardest
game.
time for you? You just say.
One of the biggest issues with touring is you miss your family, right? And you miss everybody that you leave back at home. And I remember behind album, which album was this? Full Circle, when Best Friend and when that season's rhythm did take off and
Yep.
drop leaf, that was a time where reggae was was everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we end up touring that time for 18 months. And out of that 18 months, I had 11 days off.
Whoa.
11 days out of
11 days out of 18 months.
11 days off.
And you had small
And-
kids?
Say again?
You had small kids also in that period of time?
Man. Yes, man, baby, I make non-stop, because I can't come home with mommy,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Continue the village. We understand.
Yes,
Continue the village.
it was really, really hard being away for so long, and then say you have a young baby and the mother after they as reflecting back on it now, it's like, man, that woman in that time had to be strong.
And she
Yeah.
sacrificed.
Those
Did
kids
she sacrifice?
because the pandemic, these kids, my younger kids, them now get my 5-year-old, him get a chance to say, "Why, daddy?" Him probably thinks it's normal. Say,
Yeah.
daddy, they're home every day, but it's a pandemic going on, my son. It's not a normal daddy thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Right,
So
right,
it's
right.
the biggest part is being with family.
So I have a question for you. Based on that, 18-month stint, knowing what
Yes.
you know now, would you do it the same way again?
Absolutely not, Ali. Mother must be a madman. What I know now is like, the value of things that of course me older now, so I look on things different, I think different. I saw an interview with Bones Clary the other day. You can see that there's a mature man. His DNA has not changed, but he's become wiser.
Yes.
And anyone that enter this pandemic and exit the same way, something wrong with you, brethren.
Yep.
Something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Because if you don't take this time to reflect within yourself and say, how can I grow? My biggest thing was, how can I become a better songwriter? Enough time when we are singing, and Peter say, yo, you write your verse. I say, no, I'm just going to sing it. I'm going to go to a Gramps stop. Just sing off at the top of my head. And then during this time, I say, me want to learn how to write proper lyrics and write storytelling and tell the story of a song. So for me, I took this time to say, I want to become a better songwriter. Out of that came this new solo project, this new journey. Me get look at time. Me's a man know say when me go to them, me not drink.
Yeah.
But no, me reach a point in my career and me say, boy, I will me get a look at slip at a rum and coke.
Yeah, I can relate to that one, definitely.
So we grew up.
Right.
We grew up, you understand? But early in them career, me not play them game, me not smoke, me not drink.
Brother,
But no,
same way with me.
I'm a big,
Same way with me. Don't smoke and don't drink.
don't
Even now.
smoke and don't drink. And it really, at this point, is that me just enjoy my life, you know what I mean? And really enjoy the things that we took for granted. Because I'm going to tell my friend them, don't stress out yourself to impress people that hate you. It doesn't make sense.
Quite
Because
so.
we stress out myself. The biggest thing out of this I want to tell is that I've learned and seen that we can survive with less.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Absolutely.
True. Profound.
Absolutely.
Profound. Because before the pandemic, all the things that people used to stress over. I realized that no, it's like people just exist and go through same way with less.
Look here. Let me
With
tell you
less.
something.
Open your eyes.
Less is more now.
There's a song we're coming a Jungle Book where the bear singer said, to learn to live with the bear
Beer
necessities.
necessities. No pun intended, the beer necessities.
Yeah, you see that song? You see that song? It's a profound song. Even now, for me, more so than when we hear it the first time.
Yeah.
Bare necessities. And if the pandemic here not teach you nothing else, is how
Yeah.
to survive on the bare necessities.
And the funniest thing, that's what has taught me this. Either you adapt or die.
Yeah.
I think of the pandemic as the great equalizer.
Yeah.
You understand? It shows you really and truly who is there for you, or who is there around you because of whatever else you can bring to them.
Yeah.
You understand? It is the real thing that when the dust is settled and now everybody get a gigantic humbling experience where I can't go nowhere, I can't earn, I can't this. Who really and truly is there for me? Because family would change by you too. Not just friends, not just business associates. Family would change on you too. So you're right. You're right. Rough though, but big up for the fact that at least you're improving yourself. That is key to
Growth.
I'm doing the same exact thing.
Growth
Take up a
is
second
important.
language and all them something this. So big up yourself, man, Gramps.
What is it that we have developed? Gramps is going into formal songwriting now, not improvise no more. What is it that we picked up during this pandemic that is new to us?
Well, for me, it was editing, video editing. Like, me couldn't edit before the pandemic, but when I got the job at Edna Manley, my main thing was sound. As you know, me as a musician and me an engineer, so that was my thing. But then when I realized, okay, we not have much of that to do because everything changed, so no more about engineering now go on. And then I have the software, the Premiere Pro. So I sit one day and say, hey, let me learn for the Premiere Pro. And wanna see now how good I am at using Premiere Pro. So
Alright. Good and humble.
Alright.
listen, alright, I'm not good, but that's alright. Where are man?
well, for me is I have the studio, so we normally have engineer coming in and recording. But because of the pandemic, you know what I mean, I was to adapt, as the word you said,
Yeah, man, adapt
and learn how to utilize the software of taking my own vocals. You know, that for me that was more, learning the system, and that saved me, especially when it comes to paying. You know what I mean? People for do all of them something here. So for me that was it.
For me, as I said a while ago, I started a second language and now practicing Spanish. I got hundreds of days in terms of man, I learn a second language because I'm now tapping more in as a solo artist now because of whole TOK split, tapping more into the Spanish market. So I learn in Spanish I learned to play an instrument. I'm learning to improve myself in songwriting, just like you two, Gramps. I've also started a business as well. You understand? I now also dabbled into acting. You understand? So, you know, a lot of stuff. So I give thanks.
Yeah.
The pandemic has its pluses and it has its setbacks.
Yeah, it
you
does.
understand? So
Yeah,
you have
it
to just
does.
try.
But I don't see nothing as setback right now, you know, where this
Yeah,
pandemic is concerned. I see
Yeah.
everything as a plus because
plus.
it's really, as I say, it give time for sit down and search yourself.
Strategize too.
And
Yeah.
strategize,
Yeah,
yeah.
strategize,
So I don't see
yeah.
nothing about it as negative right now. I see everything as a plus.
And the fact that Gramps said him wouldn't do what him do then
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 no.
no.
also shows that we did run down things in a them time there when we younger, thinking that this is what is absolutely going to make us. When this pandemic comes, sure, we say we can adjust and we could survive with less, with less touring, with less and
With
setting
streaming.
more family time because the family is the nuclear part of our existence.
What has improved with you over this time? What have you done?
Yeah, what have you-
Yeah.
I turn filmmaker.
Yes.
I was waiting for you to say
Utilizing one.
Yeah, man, big up the bartender.
Yeah, man.
Utilizing
Yeah,
one.
drink to that
Tell
one.
the
Thanks to the
world.
bartender series.
utilizing my cell phone.
Cell phone.
I am proud to say that last year April when we make our first upload on YouTube was in April with 4,500 dormant subscribers, and by December we got to 30,000 subscribers, and
Wow.
as we speak now, I can pay members of my core team from my YouTube page.
Mad.
You know,
Wow.
so it's
Major.
Well,
It's a
74,000.
and we're now at 74,000
subscribers.
on the road to
Yeah.
think that. So it really
Wow, right?
shows- it
Grams
really
said,
shows
wow.
Yeah.
how we
Wow,
develop,
for real.
how we can develop ourselves, and all of this is happening from home. This is happening from home,
And because of the pandemic?
right? And because of the pandemic,
Yeah.
so you get a chance now for truly share quality family time, and then just move from your bedroom to your couch and get work done.
Exactly.
What kind of work you talking about now, Villa?
No, stop it. Alright, so Gramps,
Yeah.
what is your advice to men in terms of balancing family and professional life? What's your advice? What advice would you give to the men out there who
Men-
want to learn how?
Is this pre-marriage or pre-girlfriend or
Just in
Or
general.
in general.
Or you can break it down.
or in general, give everything its time. It is very important. You can't just be Superman and then when it's time for Clark Kent, you don't know what to be. You have to be able to balance both departments, you know, and not both, but it's triple because you have to learn how to be an artist and make sure you give your full energy when it comes to that. You have to learn how to be a husband. You got to be a time when you say, babes, tonight is date night and we're going to bring in a babysitter whether you have 2 or 3 kids or 1 kid. But you have to remember the first time you see her walk down in the sexy skirt and you say, boy, she's sweetie, man. Never forget that. And also advice to the man them, never forget the first kiss. Never forget the first kiss. If you lose that element, you're going to find, say, that department of being that husband or being that man in that woman's life, it start break down and you start focus too much on career or whatever that is, or hang out with your brethren them. So the biggest thing I can say is to give everything its attention. The woman in your life, the children, and your career. And like I said, I look upon Arville as a king, I look upon Alex as a king, I look at all of the brethren as a king. But there's a price that come with kingship and there's a responsibility.
Yes,
Respect.
Yes,
All right, Gramps, thank you very much.
Appreciate
I
it,
mean,
man.
this we appreciate it. You know, for
Yeah.
joining us, take time out of your schedule. Well, now you're at home. take away from some of the family time and join me. So we thank you very much for being here,
Well,
brother.
make him speak Spanish first.
Oh, Alex, tell Gramps bye-bye in Spanish.
Adios, Gramps, you know. Me llamo Alex.
Adios.
Soy
Adios,
practicando
Alex.
español, más o menos, you know. Many days. Big up yourself, brother. You understand? I don't know why. Come on, you try.
Come on, try. Yeah, try.
You try to put me on the spot. Brother, you don't know what you're starting up. My war started, you can't do
Hold on,
that.
Sir Grams, before you leave though, you have any new project or anything that you're working on that you want to, you know what I mean, just go out and let people know, the men in society.
Big up the page and them things. What your
Well,
socials?
absolutely. I want big up men in society. First of all, I think this is a brilliant platform where we can come together as a community, as some of the strong man them in our society and our industry, and talk about our issues and talk about things that we need to address. This is what I call sober conversations. So first of all, congratulations,
Thank
and I'm
you.
happy to be a part of this.
Bless
I
you.
hope to see big pan national television in Jamaica and even internationally, because I think as strong black men, I think we need to have these kind of conversations to address, because
Respect.
it's not everyone is fortunate to have a father. Some will grow to a granny down a country, some will grow to an auntie,
Yeah.
and some will no father. So congratulations to you all on this platform. And some of my new projects, I have a new solo album dropping this summer. It will be my third solo album.
Mad.
Many people just know about my first solo album, which was
Yes.
Yeah.
So my third solo album would really reflect where I am today in my life, just like what we're talking about. No, me I take a look sip of rum every now and then, because I can't manage, you know. But 30, 40 years ago, I would never do that, ever. Not even 10 years ago. 5 years ago, I wouldn't drink no alcohol.
Yeah.
So I'm really getting to enjoy my life. I'm looking to really spend some time with my older kids. I'm a grandfather now. My daughter have a child the other day. I'm just big up to Ron Marley. His daughter just get married yesterday. So we're all turning big, man. We're not little children anymore.
Yeah.
Quite
So look out for the new album this summer and check out our my latest single, A Woman Like You, which addresses a lot of these things where a lot of men don't express themselves, especially Jamaican man. And I want to tell you, say, Jamaican man, stand firm and don't be afraid to express your love, because if love come and shock you, that's when y'all get angry, because you realize, say, but wait, she gone with me.
Gone. Yes.
Quite so.
And just quick question: the name of the album is the album name as yet?
Yes, it is, but when I'll come back and do
I won't lie, yeah.
All right.
All right. So give me the social media handles that we can check out.
Absolutely. Please make sure you follow me at Gramps Morgan, and the biggest thing for everything is grampsmorgan.com. On Facebook, I am Gramps Morgan Music. Everywhere else is just Gramps Morgan.
All right, mad.
Perfect.
Respect.
Brother, enough respect.
Big up
Thank
yourself.
you for
Yes.
joining us. Is an eye opener, and you said something we stick with me. If when a man have a woman, if that woman start looking ugly to you, it could be a reflection of you.
You.
Yes.
So instead of looking
Yes.
at her,
Look at
you might
yourself.
have to address yourself, brother. That is very profound. Enough respect and enough love here, brother. Yes.
Yeah, man.
Manners are
Anna.
respect.
Give
Yeah,
thanks.
man.
Big up
Bless
yourself,
it.
Bless
Bless
up. Bless up.
Bless up.
Good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Powerful.
Powerful,
Powerful.
brother. Powerful.
Powerful.
I
Yeah,
tell you,
Yeah.
but
Keep
for
drinking
real.
that drink where you drink, man. That's what with them profound words, man. Keep drinking that drink.
I mean,
No,
Earl and drink
No,
around.
the early drink. You know, me still like the Secretary of State, you know. You see?
Yeah, man.
Brilliant.
True, man. Can't mix up. You can't mix up like a Trump with a Michelle Obama. It wouldn't work.
Why would you go there, bro?
Yeah, because we're talking about the worst case scenario. You know what I'm saying?
So did you just Trump and Michelle?
Nah, no,
So-
You couldn't find an ex-man for putting
That's what I'm saying.
Obama,
That's what I'm saying.
Trump doesn't work.
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
I'm the president. And
I
I'm
have
talking about
been. You
Michelle
can tell me
Obama.
this. I've been fortunate in my present relationship
You're
because
lucky, man.
Shelly is a part of entertainment as well. But me can tell you, as happy go lucky as it looked to some people on the outside, my relationship suffer at times because you get to a place here when everything becomes all inclusive and your work is in your home space.
You have no space.
Then you know it's a conscious effort you have to make now to divide the two.
And that's the thing, to divide.
So when
it, for real.
when an idea busting in my head, 3 o'clock in the morning, I mean jump up and shake Shelly and think that
Yeah, like I saw a TikTok video one time where him and her I do a thing, but the look on Shelly's face is like,
yeah,
I can say Shelly just wake up.
Oh, yeah, I think I saw that one.
Him literally wake her up for the TikTok. And you can see she'll go with it, but you can see the frustration.
Yeah,
I can say,
I could
him
kill
just
you.
wake her up. You know.
I could kill you.
Him just wake her
The
up.
truth is, we have to make a conscious effort to make sure so we know how to divide it, and not because the
hard
person
for me
in the
too.
same space with you are doing the same
But
thing.
you know
that
it's
you
funny?
do.
But it's hard for me, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I could just-
Yeah, so
it's hard for me because just like a lot of times I'll be at home and we're there and I lace to there and sometimes all my depend is the business aspect of thing. And she's like, yo Trey, me come watch a movie.
Just,
Me
yeah.
could just
and-
It's funny is that it all boils down to this, you know. Everything. The work takes work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the family time and the personal life takes work.
Work
Take
as
work.
well.
For
Everything
real.
take work in order for it to
For
be
real.
successful, you know. It's
Yeah,
not gonna happen
that's
overnight.
true.
And the key thing, you know, with everything that you do is having a partner, as you say, who is
Yeah.
understanding,
Yeah.
who can realize, all right, here what, I see him pain. I mean, I understand fully what he's going through, you know, but here what, I'm gonna support him because
Support
I love him. I'm gonna want
Yeah,
it to
man.
work.
So as Graham said, important to choose that woman.
I just was about to
Yeah,
say,
that is the
Rams
thing,
just said choose the woman.
Why
You
is
have to
it-
see.
But you
5,
know,
10
say-
years down the
Again, we
line.
go back to the fact that you have to know yourself.
Yeah.
But
You have to understand you. So when you make that choice,
You
Choice,
make
you
it
know-
because you know what you want at that point in
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
But you know, say for this week is the second time I hear somebody who's in the music industry say that though.
Say what?
You have to know
you have to choose
to
your partner.
choose a woman wisely.
True.
Let me
It's
tell you
rough.
something.
It's rough. It's rough.
Especially
It's hard
in
to
the
find out.
music.
Brother, it is hard to be
it-
discerning. Trust
Yeah.
me, it is very hard to be discerning. Because you get distracted. We as men, you know, you go.
Yeah.
Men, we are, I think, more than
Visual.
women, driven by the physical. The
Yeah,
first thing
and
you see,
visuals.
especially for, well,
You really
For all
think
of us,
that?
Yeah, the
What?
first thing a visual.
the first thing you just see is the visual.
Yeah,
Oh, no, hold on. I'm not. No, we're not
Yeah.
debating that.
Mhm.
You feel say the first thing if you feel say woman look on visual more than we. You
No.
feel say woman what you feel so?
No,
No.
well, maybe not.
No,
but I'm just saying,
No, I never said that.
we can't speak for me.
I never said that.
Me
I
no
said
me
we
know where
look
woman
at
look on.
visual.
Me,
Oh,
that
come
happen
on.
me. The first thing we see most of the time is the physical.
Of course, women see the physical, but the thing is, you know, the difference with a woman is that she will see the physical, but
Woman
she
see
doesn't
the
necessarily
physical.
respond or react to it.
That's
You
it.
understand?
That's what I'm
a
saying.
woman, most of a
They
woman,
do.
she will see you and say, alright, it don't look too bad. Let us see what he's about.
Women-
And then sometimes them will look at things to try to test and say, okay, but a nice person.
but my-
and then she
but-
reverts back to what she saw. Oh, you know, him actually, after all that,
But
this
that
is a
then-
nice
but
guy,
Alex-
him have a nice smile.
but Alex, that-
or him this or him
that
that.
come-
But
broken
we
Alex.
man we just
We just
want
say
to
bomba, you look
want
like
to
breast
big
big
bottom and say, whoa.
Brother,
Let me tell you
You know,
something.
you know,
And we will overlook. We will overlook.
you
Hold on.
overlook the
That's
fact
right.
whether she cute or not.
No,
You overlook the fact
that's
that
right.
you
Alright.
can't cook.
Alright, hold on.
Or bottom big
Alright, hold
enough.
on. May I
You
give
understand?
you a clue. You know, say me no look on that no more again.
Well,
Well, that
No,
come
no,
with
no,
growth.
no,
Yeah.
Come with growth.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly,
Growth.
exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Right
Age
now,
and maturity.
my
Personally,
level.
me believe both sex look at physical
Yeah,
first.
Of course.
The women now more diabolic. Yeah, your woman a walk and a girl a walk come down the street. She say you see the woman
And what she gonna say to you?
before you even process it. Then
Yeah,
you
man,
edit
say,
it.
She bring it up to you now.
Watch, she's like, watch his phone now. But
Yeah.
any money say, him I got
Yeah.
this and that.
No, but she bring it up to you too.
So the girl walk up to you or walk past you.
And you want to say no. You
No,
want to say
you
no.
do it too. You will do it too. And when you do it in your mind, them see it. See, you make a little prep and you get blown up.
Yeah.
You see it.
Yeah,
That's
it
why I say, you could have looking up. But she know, if she see a brother walk up the road where she like, the first thing she will do is say,
And look,
"This is
sir.
like Polly."
They look like so and so, and the so and so that they don't
Yeah.
and they say, don't
Yeah.
want to
You get
see.
it.
Yeah.
And you look at E that say so. Yeah, man. And you look at E that say, no,
Yeah,
but you
yeah,
look like Paul, you
So
know.
acknowledge it.
And so you done to, yo,
But look on this.
manipulation.
But you see my woman, be careful though. She'll point it out. She'll say, yo, what you think about her? So she know me gonna look.
is that true?
Is
that true?
She'll point, yeah, because she know. And afterwards you have to play it up like, what you talking about?
Yeah.
What you talking about?
Let me tell
But
you
she
what
already know.
She walk past you and you had a reverberate return. Here, show it to me now. Turn out now.
The worst thing, you know, you can turn, go say that, and you turn back with your eyes up here and for it.
Yeah.
Hey,
You like what you
So,
see?
so pro is saying get back on topic. We're on topic.
We're on
We're on topic,
We're
bro.
talking about balancing
Balancing.
professional and personal life.
Right.
Yes, bro.
So it's having the right
So,
one in your life.
so the professional part of what I am talking about, right?
Yes.
The girl passing.
Yes, professional.
She look like a dancer.
exactly.
What if I need to audition this
Ah.
Right. You're trying to say,
Alright, look here.
yeah, you just say,
But I don't lie though. Cause I tell you, sometimes you know on Instagram, you know, and you know, especially when I do a music video, and we see a female, and we just have a fans. A matter of fact, I would say, why when somebody like you, your picture, you always look at their profile. And I say, but if somebody like with it, why would you look at their profile?
Yeah, like.
Why would
You
you
want
look
to see what you like.
You want to see exactly. Look at their profile.
Yeah.
So afterwards, though, by that video, I might look for a female. I might say,
Of a certain physique.
a certain physique.
Right, which is a professional
What's the
side of things.
professional side
Right,
of things?
right.
Yeah.
So,
Woman number one.
Why you have a
Listen, man.
message? No, but
the way you get in
how do I
contact,
get in contact?
if you a message.
Yeah.
I'm
You
just
know,
saying.
so women sit down and
A program for them
go
program.
through to find out who you like on Instagram.
Yes,
Brother, I have had stories
of
where
course.
woman was see it. Me like a picture or something, and then we'll follow the person, you know.
Just for see.
Just to see what kind of thing where you would like, you know, and then you know the comparison is going to happen.
Oh, yes.
Because okay, what him see on her that him don't see on
On
me.
me.
Why him like that, and then them do the compare and contrast thing, you know, and then them have the whole thing already.
So why you
put
follow
their
her?
head in them
She know the
and say
music.
blah 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 this and
Okay.
that. So therefore, and is find the situation, arriving at the conclusion, say, all right, therefore, because it do this, it therefore means that them don't ask the question and answer it already.
Them know
Yeah,
already.
man.
Brother, me get questions like, why you following? She doesn't do music. And I said, what do you mean she don't do music?
So all of what we're talking about, you know,
That's really, it's a bit off topic.
proper
yeah.
my things so we're not
No,
off
no,
topic.
no, off topic.
We're actually talking about the personal side
Yeah.
of things now. See?
So okay, so
Are we talking
Not-
about business,
okay,
business
well, not
aspect
to,
also?
okay, but to balance it, what about the professional side of things as well? What is it that you would say would help to, you know, just to kind of balance the scales right now? We don't talk about the physical and the personal and this and that. Talk about the professional side now. Like,
But that's what
would
professional media do.
you say all of we here? Would you all say that
All
you're
of we.
workaholics? All of us.
All of us.
All of us.
Yeah, so little much.
Come
You
on.
are English teacher.
Come on.
No.
Yeah.
Come on, English teacher.
No, we need to acknowledge it. Come on.
If
Come on.
you want acknowledgement, best of me cooler, okay?
Wait, just tell the man. Did the man just tell the man to fuck off?
No, I didn't understand.
Oh.
Oh!
Yeah, man. Test for once again.
Arvil, once the Arvil come, I hear what I'm saying. You hear him say what I go?
Yeah, man.
Him ask if the youth for tell the youth to fuck off.
Hey!
Pay $100, what you mean? Swear for a cause. We not do well with the straight journey.
What do you mean? Me going 2.5.
No, but was it fuck off, by the way?
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
It was?
Yeah,
Yes.
it was.
Alright, go on. See? Everybody's swearing.
You were
What? Was one for Arvil?
one for Dre.
And one for
I'm not
Arvil.
right, I think
One
I'm
for
right.
Arvil. One for Arvil.
Like, I don't know. Yeah, now I go cross and then.
Yeah. Yeah, man. But no, but for real. In
Alex
terms
was
of-
about to say something.
He was about to say something.
on
What
the
were you about to
professional
say?
side. You said.
Hold on.
How do
Come
you-
on, your blood clot.
One peer feed. One peer
Yeah,
feed.
cuss him out.
Yeah, yeah,
I'll come down.
yeah.
So you're saying all of us go, are we workaholics?
Yeah. Would you define yourselves as workaholics?
I think I am.
Yeah.
I really think I am.
I know I
and
am.
it's like no, me have to take stock out.
Yeah.
Like,
So what
I had
advice?
I had a real heart to heart with my wife last night because we had discussed that, and while she understand the sacrifice has to be made for all of this to happen, at the same time, me enough to realize that I think I burn the candle hard at both ends most times.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'm doing so much things. And then no matter really sit down and say, right, it. Because sometimes I feel drained.
Mm-hmm.
Like seriously drained.
Yeah,
and
of course.
I may say, yo, you know, say
Yeah.
yeah, work too hard.
Do you have a book where you write down stuff?
Sometimes, and most times in my phone, I do things on my phone. I record things to remind myself and whatever. But I realize it because having a 9 to 5 and doing all these extra things at the end just say, I have a million job.
Mm-hmm.
But
She said 5
it's
million.
all things that I love to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get excited.
So
Like
would
me,
you
me
do
with
it
that
as work?
Huh?
Would you define it as work then?
That's the thing, I don't see it as work. Because me will, alright, so me will lie down on the bed and just wait for her to drop asleep. And she drop asleep, me get up and go off the laptop and start edit.
So why
Me
wait?
that-
Well, so why?
Yeah,
So why you wait till you drop asleep before you go for the laptop?
Because if
Because you're going to get
you're
cussing.
gonna get cussing like
Yeah.
you have to do that
See
now.
there?
Da, da,
You understand?
dee,
So
da,
you have to do
da,
that
da.
now. So I just sit down, just wait, give the quality time when she said she want.
Yeah.
Gramps said where woman want is time. So you give the time. I just wait for
But
as
remember-
they hear the first.
But you see what you
Yeah,
said?
right.
But you know, time is relative though,
it's a-
because you could be giving out her time and still it may not
Not
seem
big enough.
as if it is
Enough.
enough.
Because you're
Yeah.
there in body but not there in mind.
Alright.
Advice. What advice did I give person?
My thing is, yo, you just have to put the cards on the table.
Let me tell you what
This
my-
is what I am doing. Because like I told my wife, like I'm like, you see, no, I have tunnel vision when it comes to the craft and all the things that I can do.
Yeah.
It's now or never as far as I'm concerned.
Yep.
So me I go hard at everything because
Yep.
I think, and I'm not blaming our saying that we didn't have good time back then, but I saw where back then my professional or my professional life suffered.
Because
Or I won't say suffer, but it wasn't. I didn't put in my all in the professional life because I was focusing on family life. And I'm saying, okay, me just a tip back the scale in the next direction this time around. So I say,
so you're not balancing, you're tipping it back.
you have to understand. Me have tunnel vision right now. That's basically that's
The
what I
truth is
said.
it's
I
hard.
was just being
Yeah.
true.
Like how we started, it's hard to think of it as a balance.
Yeah, it
Some
can't be
of us
balanced.
It's not gonna be
It's not
balanced.
gonna be balanced.
The thing where resonate with me is that if we talk to the elders, our elders, in our profession, none of them not feel like they were justified in the amount of work that they give their profession.
Yeah.
Not none of them. Most of them.
Most of them, yeah.
If they had, just like what Gramps said, if he had to do it again,
He wouldn't do it.
he wouldn't do it. So we have to stop now and look and say, are we going to be the same thing? Are we going to be murdering ourselves in the profession right now? And then when we look back on it, we say, never worth it.
But look at this argument.
Because no, we know, me can tell you, just like Tesfa is a tunnel vision me has.
Same thing.
Because it feels like it's now or never.
Yeah.
But
Worse because of the pandemic too, you know,
Yeah,
because
man.
you say it's like
Yeah,
I don't know if you feel this way, you know, but you feel like something you say, yo, is it end of days? Is it the fact that the world has changed so much within the last year and a half? Is it end of days really and truly where you have to just strike now while the iron is hot and just go hard or go home because you're not getting no younger, you know?
That's the
Let me
thing.
tell you, I just feel like the country should open up, and if we catch lacking, then you know what I mean, everything just gonna pass us by. So me just feel say at this moment in time,
Yeah,
It's
me
preparation.
have to
It's
prepare
preparation.
myself
Prepare.
and
And
get ready.
Success happens when opportunity meets
Meet
preparation.
preparation.
Yeah.
So
and
right.
the strongest will survive, brother. You
Yeah.
just have to make sure that
Yeah.
either you, once
Yeah.
again, as I
Yeah.
said before, either you adapt or you die.
The virtual world that I am now living in, I didn't know I would get there.
The Matrix.
Me the person where them things here, like, you know, the internet is not something I was hip about.
Yeah.
It could have passed for all that. Me
But
want
look at us
real
now.
life experiences,
Yeah.
but no,
You're
I
forced
am
to.
I'm there. I am in the matrix.
But
Yeah.
but you notice that though, like even for us as an art historian, you know that even when the pandemic is over, I think that the streaming is still going to be.
Of course,
Of
no, the
course.
whole
Yeah.
dynamic
Yeah,
has
man. The
changed. You know?
dynamic,
So
yeah.
even though it may come back around and you tour and this and that, it's gonna change. Live performances on Facebook and all that stuff. This is now the norm, you know.
Some
But
people, no matter what happens, them feel safer in a virtual world.
Mm-hmm.
Right now.
You have to interact.
So no matter they
Well-
don't see themselves or go back
Yeah.
in society as it was.
We've come to another end of another
Well, yeah, we have
podcast.
come to another end of the podcast where
Just so.
Yeah.
People upon this every minute.
No,
So-
just thinking Jesus love is above and over. So.
Yeah, you're like,
So we have to wrap.
you
We
know
have to
what?
wrap.
One
We
day
have
we
to
just make propose just end the show.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I think
Like
what
you walk in and
Just
say,
walk in
"Alright,
and say, yo,
no, man.
done.
No, man. Make
Cash
Ken
as
Boy
well.
in the program one time. Man.
Ken
Yeah,
Boy?
man.
Anything in Spanish, no?
Yeah, man.
Anything in Spanish.
Mi gentes, adios. You understand? Vaya con Dios. You understand? This is Men in
In
Society.
Society.
Peace and love. You understand?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, men in
Respect.
society, real men, real issues.
Our
Our
voice.
voice.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Men in
Yep.
society,
Which is
GA.
important.
Matic Rum.
Share upon every platform.
Muy importante.
Matic
Yeah.
Rum.
Por favor.
And
Yeah.
also,
Mining Gold Studios.
Mining Goes Studio.
Man.
Yeah, man.
Check it, don't wreck it. We make it on them one thing.
Man,
Straight so. Yo.
We are the men in society, yeah. We are the men in society, yeah.
Talk about depression, talk about recession, talk about the church and them confession, talk about the government lacking